Babaji, we're often told to keep good company, choose your companions and friends wisely. But we are also told don't judge people, see the good in others. So, Babaji, how can we choose our friends wisely but also see the best in everybody?
Well, a friend is not somebody you want to sort of change. If you like him for who or what he is, you know? Otherwise, the full world will keep on trying to change everybody. But at the same time, we must see that human beings by nature are weak and we get very easily influenced by the company we keep. So, to that extent, be cautious. But to say that I'm going to try and change all my friends, I mean, if you want them to respect your point of view, you must learn to respect their point of view.
Thank you, Babaji. We're often told to look at our jobs as seva, give our 110%. But Babaji, sometimes you struggle to find a balance and learn to let go. Initially, like you even said, no overindulgence in anything. Does letting go mean that we should be okay if we're not always performing at our 110%?
You see, whatever is worth doing well. Now, if you do it with a sense of responsibility, definitely you're wanting to give your best to that, you know. But there are circumstances, sometimes you are not well, sometimes there might be some pressures on you. Your intention should be to put in your best. Don't look at the results. When I say make it your seva, means the attitude. The attitude should be nishkam, where you want to give rather than to receive. So, if you do it with that attitude, then everything becomes seva. Most of us think going to a religious place is seva. Seva is what you do without calculation. So whether it is, looking after the household, looking after the children, your work, everything can become seva if you do your best but don't calculate.
Thank you, Babaji. Babaji, my last question is on behalf of my mother. She says, we often go through ups and downs in life and falter. Huzur says that if we keep thinking about our mistakes, it creates a groove, an impact on our minds, which we carry till our next life. And Babaji, you often say that if negative thoughts appear during meditation, just press the delete button. She has been trying hard to follow this advice and thinks that she succeeded. But certain events and people in the following days triggers back all these negative emotions, which she was initially confident she deleted. What would your advice be? Because she's also scared that it carries forward to the next life.
In life, whatever you focus on the problem is going to become larger than life. You focus on the solution, you will definitely get a solution. Now, all these are impressions on the mind. Okay? These impressions don't mean anything unless you give importance to them. Then they will start projecting themselves in front of you, and that projection then tends to create that fear within you. Now, the purpose of our meditation is basically to erase all these impressions from our mind. But to say that 100% we can erase everything, some of them are so deep rooted that no matter what you do at some stage, they tend to come up. Our association with people, sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. So we have to keep on striving to do our meditation. That time, try and avoid those people who bring about the negativity. Because at the ending of the day, you are answerable for your actions, not for the other person's actions. So why would I try and create a negative atmosphere? Why would I try and stay in a negative atmosphere?
Thank you, Babaji. Swami.
It's said that eat less, sleep less, and talk less. Are these going to be supportive for our spiritual growth? And it's a main thing.
You see, if you talk too much, you're spreading your attention. And most of the time, we tend to say something which we regret later on. So if you talk less chance of saying something wrong. eating, again, it's a question of a balance. How much? You know, when we find something nice or something tasty, we tend to get carried away. You eat too much, then you start feeling heavy, and then the tendency will be to go to sleep rather than doing what you need to do. Similarly, in sleep, what you need and what most of us do, again, two different things. So yes, the body needs to rest, but the question is how much? You know, so if we keep that balance, you're riding a bicycle, you have a balance, you'll go forward. You lose that balance, you'll fall down. So it is essential to keep that balance in life. If we see what has nature blessed us with, nature has blessed us with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. But we tend to use it in a different proportion. You know, so we should be hearing more, seeing more, and speaking less. But we speak more, see less, and hear less.
Babaji, am I chosen to be initiated tomorrow? If it is yes, why do you choose me to be initiated? Because sometimes I still feel like that I'm a sinner, I'm a bad human. But by the time goes by, I cannot resist this power, even until now. So this is my question.
Beta, none of us is perfect. If we were perfect, we won't be here. If we are here, it's because of our imperfections. Now, you know your imperfections, so that's why you think that you are a sinner. You don't know the next person's imperfections. But the fact is that we are here because of our imperfections. We did something which created karma, and that's why we are here, trying to pay off that karma. So I don't think so we should overanalyze. Now, at different stages of life, each one of us wants different things. Sometimes we want money, sometimes we are looking at relationships, sometimes we are looking at positions. But then comes a certain time where you want to go beyond all that, because at the ending of the day, whatever we may seek, what we are basically wanting is peace of mind and happiness. So the question is, how do I get that peace of mind and happiness? Will I get it through money? Will I get it through position? Will I get it through relationships? Now they help me only in a little part. And that is one where we come to a spiritual path, where we want to come to terms with ourselves. Now, I am more answerable to myself than I am to anybody else. If I'm at peace with myself, no matter what anybody says, it won't disturb me. But if I'm not at peace with myself, then whatever anybody says or does disturbs me. So meditation is how it helps you to come to terms with yourself, realize your strengths, realize your weaknesses, and then utilize those strengths to overcome the weaknesses. So then that becomes an anchor. You know, in life, if you have a strong anchor, you can weather any storm. But if the anchor is weak, then the ship goes with the storm. So if we make our meditation our anchor, that gives us that strength to be able to face all adversity without losing our balance.
So it is all have been written since long day before I was born to be here in front of you.
You see, the purpose of life is basically to fulfill this responsibility. That is why we say self-realization before God-realization. So when you realize the self, you come to terms with yourself, the next step is automatic. Because what are you realizing? Part of that realization is that your soul is part and particle of the Lord. So you are working towards that self-realization that you are part and particle of God. In the 6 scriptures it says, Atam me Ram, Ram me Atam, Chinas Gur Vichara. In the soul is the Lord and the Lord is in the soul, but few have been able to realize it. Now the moment you realize it, there's nothing more to be done.
Babaji, as a new vegetarian, should I avoid the cosmetics since I'm a lady? Should I avoid cosmetic, shampoo, and soap?
Well, let me put it this way. Firstly, I think the Lord has given us enough beauty that we don't need to use these enhancements. Each one of us. We are looking at the outer beauty. But all this cosmetic is not going to change your inner beauty, is it? But some of us, we want to do it. There are plenty of natural cosmetics, So I'm not saying it from a spiritual point of view, from even a medical point of view, some of these cosmetics are not good for your health. But the choice, I leave it up to you.
Radhaswami Babaji, I am translating for our brother. Do I, as a satsangi, have only one chance to go to a true home? Will my many sins in this life be an obstacle to the back way home?
It's not a question of one choice. The question is of that if we have this choice and we don't use it, it's to our loss. Now, if you look at it, 84,100,000 species. If each species you spent 1 year means 84,100,000 years. Okay? And we also understand there are many trees, many plants whose age is 100 years. So we can't even calculate after how much time we've got this opportunity. What we've gone through to get this opportunity. And when we've got this opportunity, instead of thinking, I'll come back again and then do it, why not make use and do it now? Why think about the next?
Babaji, if we sell clothes at a gambling place, is it permitted in Santmat? We are only selling, not involved with gambling at all.
Come again, if we sell?
If we sell clothes at a gambling place,
Oh, no.
is it permitted in
Yeah,
Santmat?
you can. I mean, basically, look, we are not responsible for other people's actions. We are responsible for our action. So you are not gambling, you are selling clothes. That's fine.
The question is, how do we know if we have found a true spiritual teacher? Because nowadays we see religion being commercialized by a lot of people or institutions.
Well, I think most of us follow our intellect. So your intellect basically should help you to come to terms, because I guess we will all, try and analyze, because we are born in a particular religion, we follow a particular philosophy, and we will always use that to see what we should follow. So, having said that, it's like a 5-year-old child saying, I'll interview the teacher to see whether he can teach me. I mean, if he had that ability, then why does he need to learn from that teacher? So it's your comfort level, what you can relate to. If you can relate to it, you will be able to follow it. If you can't relate to it, you won't be able to follow it. So it's your comfort level.
Babaji, what differentiates the physical form of the Satguru from the radiant form of the Satguru? If they are different, which one is more important for an initiate?
No. Physical form is only till the Shamshan Ghat or the cremation ground. What sustains over the period of time is the radiant form. Radiant form doesn't change. Physical form will change. From a black beard, has this beard become white or not? So anything that changes is called Maya. Aaye jaye, so Maya. That which changes is subject to time. What we are seeking is the radiant form who's beyond time. Anything within the ambit of time is materialism, is Maya. So the radiant form is when we go into the spiritual sphere. Physical form will keep on changing. Physical form is nothing permanent. We are seeking something which is the truth. Truth cannot change. You see, so physical will have set features, will probably behave in a particular manner, wear certain clothes. But radiant is beyond all that. So the physical form only comes as an example to show us through example and to teach us. The real form is the radiant form.
Babaji, I like to ask, before I was initiated, I had ever promised God that if I am able to build a house, I will give offerings. But in our tradition, offerings include sacrificing pig and chicken. I have not yet fulfilled this promise. My question is, now that I am initiated, I like to request a guidance from Babaji if I should do the offering or not, so that I don't feel owing to him. Should I fulfill my promise or not?
See, we are trying to limit the Lord. Do we think that the Lord only wants that pig or that other thing for a sacrifice? Okay. You should offer to the Lord only what He hasn't given you, what you have created. And the only thing that you have created is the mind. This my and mine. So the best thing to offer the Lord is your ego. Everything else has been given by Him. So if we offer the Lord our ego, then everything is His. The Lord has created every creature in this creation. And He is not going to be happy if you give pain to any one of His creatures. Right? So let's start by giving our ego, this my, mine, to the Lord. And if everything is His, then there's nothing to sacrifice.
We should not give the offerings, so it is not
Lord,
needed.
Lord wants your love. He doesn't want these things. You know, in our 6 scriptures we say, Jiv jant sab tisde sabana da soi, manda tisnu akhiye je ko duja hoi. That all the creation belongs to Him. We can put somebody good, bad, if we think it's been created by somebody else. This is the Lord's creation. What are you trying to do? Give Him back whatever He's given you. That's where I said the only thing as human beings we've created is the ego. So give Him your ego. That is worth much more than all these little small things.